So the first thing we're going to talk about are opposites or additive inverse. An opposite or additive inverse of any number A is negative A. So the opposite or additive inverse of any number A is negative A. If you add two opposites together, so if I add A to negative A, then I will always get 0. The reciprocal or multiplicative inverse of any number A is its 1 over A. So the reciprocal is 1 over A. The product of the reciprocals is 1. Product of the reciprocals is 1. So it says to find the opposite and the reciprocal. So I'll do the opposites in red and the reciprocals in blue. So the opposite of 4 is negative 4. Its reciprocal is 1/4. Something like number 8, you have to change this into an improper fraction. It can't be a mixed because we can't do 1 over a fraction. So 7 times 3 is 21. 21 plus 1 gives you a negative 22/7. So its additive inverse is positive 22/7. And its reciprocal is negative, because the original is negative, its reciprocal is negative. And if you have a fraction, you flip it, because 1 over negative 22/7 would turn into 7 over 22. Okay, number 9, its additive inverse would be the positive 0.002. Its reciprocal would be negative 1 over 0.002. But fractions and decimals are a no-no. We're not allowed to have fractions and decimals in one. So you would have to take that number and simplify it. And negative 1 over 0.002 becomes negative 500. So again, you cannot leave it as a decimal and a fraction. You have to simplify it. Okay, number 10. The additive inverse is 4/9, and its reciprocal is negative 9/4. So again, the negative stays and the fraction flips. 11, we want to change that into an improper. So you get 21/5. Additive inverse would be negative 21/5. And its reciprocal would be 5 over 21. And last, you have negative 600 as its additive inverse, and 1 over 600 as its reciprocal. So throughout the year in here, you're going to hear me use the word additive inverse. It's unlikely I'll say opposite. But they mean the same. All right, so again, I said yesterday we focused a lot on learning the distributive property. So today what we're going to do is apply the distributive property. So there are two methods we can use when applying the distributive property, and we're going to talk about both of those methods today. So we have method 1. which is to sum the parts and then multiply. So it says the prices of the components of a computer package offered by the computer depot are shown in the table. If a 6% sales tax is added to the purchase, how much sales tax is charged for this computer package? So what that means is we are going to pay 6% of the total cost. So in order to figure out what 6% of the total cost is, I need to know what the total cost is. So you add 359.95 plus 219.99 plus 79 plus 149.5 plus 99. And we get 0.06 times 907.44 which means that our sales tax is 54.45. So that's method 1. Method 1 is summing the parts. Method 2 is to distribute, then sum. So what that means is you are going to take 0.06 and multiply it by every single one of those numbers individually. So you would take all of those parts. So you take 0.06 times 359.95 plus 0.06 times 219.99 plus 0.06 times 79 plus 0.06 times 149.5 plus 0.06 times 99. And once again, this answer is my final answer of 54.45. So you have to decide, okay, which method do I like more? Or you have to ask yourself, okay, which method is better for this problem? So there are times when method 1 is the more logical choice. In this problem, I think the method 1 makes more sense. It's a lot less typing, and there are a lot less chances you're going to make an error. There will also be instances in which method 2 is the better choice. So we learned both. Your textbook has you do both for the first couple homework problems. That way you can see, compare, and get comfortable with each type. So again, we're going to look at method 1 and method 2. So in method 1, it says Kayla worked $8 per hour working at a grocery store, and the number of hours Kayla worked each day in 1 week are as follows. How much money did Kayla earn? So method 1 would say, okay, Kayla makes $8 an hour times the total number of hours she works. So she works 12 and a half hours. So that means that she makes $100. Method 2 would be to find out how much she makes each day to see what she earns for the week. So that would be like 8 times 3 plus 8 times 2.5 plus 8 times 2 plus 8 times 1 plus 8 times 4. So then you would add your 24, you would add your 20, 16, 8, and 32 to see once again that she earns $100 for the week. Audrey goes to the post office and bought 8 42-cent stamps and 8 27-cent postcard stamps. What was the total amount of money Audrey spent? So this problem is written out to use method 2. It is given to you, set up in a way that you say, okay, she bought 8 stamps at 42 cents plus 8 stamps at 27 cents. So I know that 8 times 0.42 plus 8 times 0.27 means that she spent $5.52 on 16 stamps. So again, here's a case where you're going to probably use method 2 because that's how the problem is wrote out for you. Method 1 would be like taking the distributive property in reverse or pulling out the GCF of 8. She bought 8 of each type. One stamp cost 42 cents, the other cost 27. The total cost of both types of stamps times the total number of stamps gives us the same $5.52 for 16 stamps. Okay, the second part of the lesson is to rewrite algebraic expressions by simplifying using the distributive property. So what we do in this example is to distribute the outer numbers. So 3 times 2 is 6q plus 3r plus 20q minus 35r. So we distribute and then combine like terms. So 6 and 20 gives 26q minus 35 plus 3 is 32r. Okay, letter B, same idea. You're going to distribute the 3. This time we're also distributing a -2. So you need to be cautious about your signs. So you get 12x minus 6y minus 6x minus 2y. Because again, the negative on the outside distributes to both parts inside. Both are positive, so they become negative. 12 minus 6 is 6. Negative 6 and 2 is negative 8y. Distribute to letter C. So you get 12a minus 4b plus 2b plus 6a. Combine like terms. So you get 18a minus 2b. Okay, so your homework is the very next page in that packet. So again, textbook problems match the textbook in your book. If you just want to do the next 2 pages in your packet, front and back, not 2 actual pages, just front and back.